And what is up, DTV? It's me, Eric, here to do my video review of Game of Thrones Season 5, Episode 9, Dance with Dragons. And I'm not happy. Something very, very terrible happened in this episode, and devastating, and I'm just going to get right to it. Shireen, the princess, Stannis' daughter, was burnt to death alive, and it was, honestly, to me, even more horrifying to watch than the Red Wedding. I just didn't think it really was going to happen. So to actually see it happen was just horrible. To see a little girl burnt to death like that, especially one so sweet. So, I'll just get into it. So, basically, Stannis' camp is attacked by Ramsay's 20 men. Burned on, tents are burned on fire, and food supplies, burn, and Stannis sees he's in big trouble. So, he decides to send Davos to the wall to ask for supplies and food and stuff. But he really sends him there, I think, also because he knew what he was going to do. So Davos has a scene with Shireen. He gives her a stag as a gift, and it was a very sweet scene. She tells him she's reading a book, A Dance with Dragons. And so Davos departs, and then a little later, Stannis comes in the tent to talk to Shireen. And he asks her, what are you reading? What's it about? And he's like, she comes back and she ends up telling him, Father, I want to help you. I want to help you win. I want to be there for you. I'm the princess. I'll do whatever it says. And he's like, you don't know what that really means. And then he hugs her and says, please forgive me. And that's when I just started to lose it. Then you see Shireen being escorted by soldiers to a stake, and she just is so confused and is like, "What's going on?" And they start strapping her to the stake to burn her to death. She starts screaming and crying, not knowing what's going on, wondering why is this happening. The Red Woman's giving her speech, Melisandre, Lord of Light, we offer this sacrifice of this girl, but Stannis and his wife are standing there, and his wife in the beginning is all, we have to do this. This is something we have to do. But in the end, after Melisandre lights the fire to burn Shireen, Stannis' wife relents and says, no, we shouldn't do this. But, Stannis' troops stop her, and Stannis just has this possessed look in his eyes as she starts to burn. And then he closes his eyes because he doesn't really want to watch it happen. And you don't actually see her actually burn, thank goodness. That would have been just too horrifying. But you hear her screaming, and I've never heard screaming like that on a TV show. It was just horrible. I want to take a minute to commend the actress who plays Shireen. Her name's Kerry Ingram. I think she has a very, very bright future ahead of her in film. She can also sing. She brought so much life, so much innocence to this role, and that's what made it all that more harder to watch. So I just want to commend her. She did a fantastic job. But I'm really upset that this happened because it doesn't happen in the books. It's not something that happens in the books. I know that for a fact. If it happened in the books, I'd still be very upset, but okay, they took it from the books, but it doesn't happen. And I don't know why this was really necessary to do. I don't think, I'm just, I'm conflicted because I've always believed in Stannis' claim that because he is Robert's brother, that he is next in line on the throne, that he is the king, but how can I support someone that did something like this? There's nothing worse to kill your own child. I mean, Daenerys has had people burnt, but they weren't her children. I mean, I don't know. I don't know where I stand. I don't know how to think about it. So that's what happened with that part of the episode. Other stuff happened. The Dorne stuff, once again, was pretty boring. It's kind of dragged the season down, to be honest. You know, the head of Dorne allows Jaime to leave with Marcella and her intended Tristan, and Bronn's allowed to leave. His only repercussions for what he did to Tristan was he gets punched. That's basically the story with that. Other stuff that happened. Jon returned to the Wall. This was just a short scene with the wildlings, and Alistair Thorne tells him, you know, Jon, you have a good heart, and it's going to get us all killed. And that's all we really saw of the Wall. So finally was, I'll get to the fighting. Oh, I forgot Arya. So Arya's doing her thing, and her, you know, thing of selling mussels and clams and stuff, and she sees arriving to Dorne Sir Meryn, who she hates. He's always been on her list, and he's accompanying the Tyrell guy who's in Dorne to negotiate for funds and stuff. And she follows Sir Meryn into a brothel, and we learn in the brothel that Sir Meryn is a pedophile. He likes girls very, very young. It was pretty sick and disturbing. So I hope Arya gets to kill him. I think that would be cool. That would be good. So finally, the fighting pit. It was a pretty good action sequence. So the fighting pits take place. Jorah's fighting, and action back and forth. And then finally, the Sons of the Harpy start to attack, killing people left and right. Jorah, Tyrion, start to protect Daenerys, start to fight back. But basically, Daenerys, they all end up in the middle of the pit, and they are surrounded by the Sons of Harpy. And it looks like they're in pretty bad shape. They might all die. All of a sudden, you hear a dragon roar, and it's Dragon. Dany's third dragon, who's man in the world. He comes in, swoops in, kills a lot of the Sons of Harpy. So he takes a couple hits. They try to fight back at him with some spears, but in the end, Daenerys gets on him, and they ride off, and that was cool to see. But it made me wonder, what about everyone else sitting there? I mean, that's stuck there. Tyrion and Jorah, and Daria, what about them? Are they going to be okay? They just took off. It's a little weird. But I kind of think the Shireen thing should have ended the episode, not that, because it was way more powerful. In a tragic way. You know, it is what it is. It happened. I can't change that it happened. I'm glad she's still alive in the books. So I'll definitely be first in line to buy The Winds of Winter to see what happens in the books. But I will miss you, Shireen. I don't know where I stand anymore with Stannis. It was just terrible. But you know, for an F9, I mean, it had it was the most tragic moment in my opinion of the show, in the show's history. And the Daenerys stuff was cool, but you know, the Dorne stuff just kind of dragged it, but it was alright. We'll see. You know, next week's the finale. See what happens with the finale. I think I'm going to do a video, not now, but next week, on changes the show has made from the book that I don't agree with, because there have been definitely a handful I think should not have been changed. I think I might do a video on that, and I'll make sure I'll include, don't watch the video if you don't want to know spoilers from the book. But I think I might do that. So, that's all I have to say. So, I want to thank everybody for watching this review. Remember to subscribe to DTV. Once again, Shireen, you will be missed. See you guys.